Hello, this is Manuela, your guiding light, and this YouTube video is 2024 prediction. First, we would like you to understand that when me, Manuela, is doing prediction for 2024, I'm not talking about all psychics and readers. I'm talking about mine only predictions. They usually are not just for 2024, they are usually for the one cycle. And this cycle is between 2020 to 2030. So when we say that this is prediction from 2024, what it means really that everything that we are going to deliver in this, all the information and prediction, is starting to take place from 2024. But it might not actually happen in 2024. It's meant to happen by the end of the cycle, which is 2030. So what it happens is the energy is, the way we work with the timing is that when we say the timing, that it's when energy is ready for it. The energy is ready for it, the energy starts to work, the universe all starts to work, prepare everything that needs to happen for that. But it doesn't actually mean that it's going to happen exactly in that time, which means the energy is taking place for that. Okay, so anything that we predicted from 2020 could still be happening until 2030. So the timing is not exactly specifically for that 1 year. We would like you to understand that. Some things could be, some things might not be. Some things might just take place, the energy to prepare for that, and actually happen much later. But this is a big shift that humans and Earth is going through, and it's one of the really biggest shifts that we ever had between 2020 and 2030, which means that a lot of people are going to shred their ego, going to shred their darkness. And in order for that to happen, the darkness needs to be acknowledged. So it's a big change, and the thing is, it's a really good change. Once all the darkness is shred and the ego is shred, it's gonna be amazing times. But until we get there, can be actually very, very challenging. And also, please keep in mind that the reason the timing can change is because humans make sometimes wrong decision, especially if they're not connected. If everybody was connected to the light, everybody would make the right decision, and plan would always go ahead as it's planned. And there would be, of course, less suffering as well. But because not everybody is connected, and people unfortunately make wrong decisions and wrong choices, they are not wrong, they are right for them because they need to learn from it to understand what is right. But that changes the outcome. So nothing is really 100% set in stone. The things that are set in stone are more of the timings where, let's just put it this way, the only way I can describe this is the more people are conscious and connected, the more things are happening on timing. So basically by the end of 2030, we are meant to shred the darkness and enter into really light, and a lot of good changes, a lot of wonderful changes. But again, that's going to be a lot of very hard if nobody is really doing what they meant to do, if people are not involving and not learning. So nothing is really 100% set in stone. But what we're trying to say is that basically from 2020, everything that we're predicting, that I'm predicting, it should happen between 2020 to 2030. Okay, so as we mentioned, the most important thing is shredding the ego and shredding the darkness. To make room for the changes that's coming. There's a lot of wonderful changes that are coming, but they're not coming because there's a lot of blockages, a lot of darkness that needs to be clear. So this This year, specifically 2024, it's going to be big for healers, for psychics, for anybody that does any spiritual work, which means that they're going to be tested big time. It's a huge test at the beginning for them. Everybody that has psychic abilities, everybody that ever done any psychic and healing work, this is going to be really big time and big tests for them. Lot of darkness, it's going to amplify. What it's saying here, it's going to amplify, which means everything that is happening now, it's going to be twice worse. And all the healers and psychics are going to be tested. And the major test is, how much are you staying to light? It's easy to stay in light when you don't experience darkness, where there is no darkness. But it's quite challenging to stay in a light when you are experiencing darkness everywhere. And that's what's coming from 2024, where the darkness is going to be everywhere. The actual words that I'm getting here is that the dead are arising, which means that we have a lot of souls that are in a dark place, that are not healed. These are the souls that suffered a lot when they were living. Anybody that suffers a lot, that didn't deal with their emotions, that were bullied, that were controlled, that basically lived a life where there was no freedom, where their light was really squashed. Because when we don't have freedom to be who we really are, and we are controlled, and we experience a lot of abuse and a lot of trauma, the light, it's shattered. And when we die, we don't go to the light, because there is no light much left in us. So all these souls that are died with no light are staying on a lower level, which means they're not really in a light. So they are coming on surface, basically. That's the only way I could describe this. It's like they're coming really on surface. They want to be acknowledged. They want to be helped. They're looking for help, basically. That's the only word I could say. They need help. They want to be helped. And in order for us to shred the ego and to shred the darkness and to really move more to the light, this is a big part that has to be done. This is a big job that has to be done. Everybody will have to learn how to deal with this soul, how to help this soul to actually move to the light. So they will be very active. There's going to be a lot of darkness everywhere. And everybody will have to learn how to deal with it. That it's a big change that's coming for, a big test that's coming for everybody that done any spiritual work. The good thing is, once the job is done, there won't be any more negative souls and dark souls. Also, the most important is, humans gonna learn how to keep their light. And that's what also coming in 2025, more 24 and or early 25, where humans are all connecting to the light. They're all understanding that the way they've been living doesn't work anymore. And that's what is the 24 meant to do, to show to everybody that the way you've been living, anybody that it's not living really their truth, it's going to be showing that the way you've been living, it doesn't work anymore. You will learn how to look after your body much better. You will learn how to tune to the light and keep the light going. You will also be cautious, and that's what I'm feeling. It's a lot of people going to be, all this darkness coming on surface will make the other people more cautious of what choices they're making and what they're doing, so they don't bring more of darkness, which is exactly how it needs to be. That's exactly what God wants for us. So in a way, it's really good. That means there won't be any more dark soul, there won't be any more suffering, and that is the key of the shift, to reduce or to eliminate the suffering and the darkness. So also what we have in 2024, and you will see that this is coming sort of more towards the end, 24, where a lot of illnesses and diseases that were sort of not very known to professionals, that were sort of expanding, and they were trying to figure out where they're coming from and why it's happening. A lot of diseases and a lot of illnesses and health issues will be eliminated. And that is the reason and the cause of people making necessary changes that they need to make. as they learn to understand their body and make necessary changes, a lot of diseases and illnesses will be eliminated. People gonna be, in a simple words, people gonna be much more healthier. They will actually care about their health. They will understand how it's important, and also they will care about their soul. And that's the most important. They will connect to their soul. They're gonna understand that they are light, and that light, it's very important to shine. They will all work on that, which is gonna be really, really great. Another wonderful thing that's coming, which could, again, depends on how people will react to it. They're bringing a wonderful help here, and it's really a matter of time when humans gonna understand that. So we have these aliens that gonna actually come to speak to us and to work with us, that gonna take place on Earth, that gonna teach us how to deal with all the darkness, that's gonna teach us the most important and the most valuable help they're bringing is to remove this, to remove and stop the global warming. So it's a very important change that needs to happen in order to bring less suffering. If we don't do that soon, it's going to be much, much more suffering and much, much more poverty. So they are here coming to actually help us. They have the answers that are very simple, and they can actually help to humans to stop the global warming and deal with it in much quicker way and easier way. So they have all those answers for us. All we have to do is give them opportunity to do it. Listen, take time to actually hear them out. Do not reject this help. They have knowledge and tools that we cannot even imagine. So this is a big help that's coming, that we humans so desperately need. And again, this is really depends how quick this is gonna happen. It depends on how open-minded humans are to this help that's coming. So they definitely coming, and I feel this is very strongly meant to happen in 2024, where they actually coming to Earth. They're not just sliding down and running away and hiding from us. They actually want us to see them. They want to speak to us. They will offer help, and they will stay. They're not going to go anymore. They will actually stay. So this is, again, can go very wrong from beginning, but remember, the outcome is always that they will do it. They're not going to give up until they actually help us, because our planet depends, their lives and their planets depends a lot on what happens to our planets. So they will be very persistent with this. They will not just give up and stop, because the closer we're coming to real disaster and really killing the planet, the more persistent they are. So I'm getting very strong to hear that this is something that we cannot avoid. This is definitely going to happen. And the less we are resistant, the more we are open to this change and open to this help, the quicker peace and harmony will be restored on Earth. Because the global warming is one thing that's creating a lot of destructions everywhere and a lot of suffering. So this is very, very important, and it is happening sort of around mid of the year. It meant to happen mid of the year. There's a really big change that's coming with when it comes to money and currency. A lot of it's almost like there's a breakdown. What I'm seeing here is like a breakdown and then a change coming. So the way we're treating money, or the way we're dealing with money, it's just not gonna work anymore. It's not gonna work out anymore. There's a big change that's coming. But what I'm seeing first, it's a big stop, and it's a break. That's what I'm seeing. It's like a break, something's going to break down. It's like the banks are going to close. That's exactly what I'm feeling. And possibly that the major bank could be closed. There's a lot of wrongdoing around in that area, and there's a lot of banks that is going to be closed, but there's one particularly major bank that might actually close, and that's going to bring, it's like I feel like people are screaming. That's going to bring a lot of destructions again, a lot of destructions. But then the new currency, a new way it's coming, and they show me a lot of gold. Gold has something big to do. Gold brings a big change here. So I can't see exactly what they're going to do with the gold, but gold's going to be very important for this change. And it's almost like it's a number one assets or number one mineral that we're going to use. So that's the change that it's going to come sort of around September, again close to the end of 2024. It could push a little bit further, but I'm feeling that sort of the collapse, it's actually quite close. The collapse is coming very close. And again, that's gonna, once the change takes place, once we understand and humans understand what they need to change, it's gonna be actually much better and safer. That's the word that I was looking for, safer. The way we're dealing with money, the way we're working with money at the moment, or the direction that we're heading in is just not safe. And what it's coming, it's more safer way for everybody. Everybody gonna feel sort of peace. Everybody's very anxious at the moment. And the reason why they're anxious, because they can feel that what it's coming, where we're heading, it's not really, really safe. And is absolutely true. So the crash of that plane, that sort of plane has to crash, and then another plane comes in. But gold, it's very important here. They keep showing me gold here. So that's gonna bring a much easier and safer way of currency. Now we would like to talk a little bit about the war in the countries where there's a lot of weapons at the moment, there's a lot of explosions, there's a lot of death. We do feel that it could continue for another 2 years, and then I'm showing that everybody is dropping the weapons are dropped, and they are actually not needed anymore. I also feel I'm showing that aliens has something to do with this. They will actually help, where the weapons will be completely just dropped. And it's not that they just make a decision not to shoot anymore, is they actually make a decision that we just simply don't need them anymore. And that's gonna be big breakthrough. That's what brings a real peace everywhere. But that could take about 2 years before it happens. Right now, everybody is still learning about peace and forgiveness. Forgiveness is quite important here now. And understanding that fighting, it's not bringing really peace. That's why everybody, and we're talking about not just in government and in the places where there's war and in government, we're talking about in every individual. The lesson is that they're going to learn that fighting is not bringing the peace. It's only when we drop the swords, when we drop the weapons, and we open hearts, that the peace is reached. And that's what will happen in about 2 years with all the war that is going on right now. There could be another country that will start the war, and I'm feeling that could be the main trigger. There could be another country, and one of the large countries, that will begin the war, that will enter into war, and that's going to be the main trigger for change. That's going to actually bring complete peace. So we humans and the government is going to learn that fighting, it's not bringing the peace. Somebody's going to wake up there. It's almost like there's going to be a wake-up call, and somebody's going to step in, and they're going to realize that that's not going to happen. And also they're going to understand that it's going to spread. What it's showing me, it's like if once this last country enter into war, everybody's going to understand that this is going to spread everywhere. And there's going to be a few individuals that's going to actually step in and stop this. And a lot of it coming from UFOs as well. They're going to help here as well. So, which means that whatever war is happening or whatever war is going to happen in the next few years, it's going to be last. There will not be any more war on Earth at all. It's going to be last. It's going to be where humans and souls gonna truly understand that fighting, it's not bringing the peace. So that's going to be quite big. But yeah, it's sort of not happening really much in this year, but I feel urgency to actually talk about it, to say that that's going to end. We see that everybody is hoping for that to end, and unfortunately it's not going to end that quick. And there's a lot of it depends on the leaders, because leaders are learning here the major lessons. And if they're not learning, universe or God always gives them chance to, it's very patient and gives them chance to make the change that they need to make. And then there's the last straw that comes in, where it's actually decided that they're not going to make change, and then somebody else will step in. And that's going to bring complete end to war. We would like to explain to you the shift, the way it goes. When we enter in a cycle of the shift, where there's a lot of negativity that has to come on the surface to be released. So how it works with timing. So say, for example, we entered in 2020. So we are hit with some major, and then depends how much people made change in that major problem or major disaster. And then we're moving further. As we're moving closer to mid, like 2024, 2025, then we are hit the most. Then when it's coming almost like for every area in our life, it's hitting us. That means we're coming to that middle of stage of the shift, where everything is showing to us what we have to deal with. Beginning of the shift is showing just little bits and pieces, what we have to change and what we have to deal with, what we have to release, what we have to adopt to new, what new do we have to take in our life, adopt to it. But when it comes to mid, when it's 2024, 2025, that's when everything is thrown at us. It's like everything from every side. You will know absolutely everything what you have to change. Not just every human, but the leaders and everybody will know exactly what they need to change, exactly what they need to do. And then the good part comes in, where we actually doing what we need to do. So after 25, we will probably have all the answers. Most likely that we will have all the answers that we need and know how to deal with every challenge that Earth is facing. And then it's going to be just a matter of time when we actually start doing it. And by the time we come to 2030, then it's all done, and we're entering into this beautiful new energy, and it's bringing more peace, and everybody is more enlightenment and open to and forgiving, basically. So that's when the real shift happens. While we're going through it, not much can be seen, but when we come to the end, and that's when the light starts shining, and that's where we can see why we went through it and how actually important and great it was. You probably notice, and this is going to be very effective in the next 3 to 4 years, that the way you're doing your jobs, it's going to change. Everybody's career is going to change. Everybody's job is going to change. There's going to be more of holistic healings. It's going to be incredibly popular, incredibly everywhere. And the way everybody's doing their work is going to change. And again, it's changing to more flexible, not to sort of kill yourself for work. You are not meant to kill yourself for work and for money, to survive. You are not meant to live like that. Universe is bringing the change where you're going to more enjoy what you're doing and make quite a bit of money. And the hours are going to change, definitely. You're not going to be working so much, but you're going to be more productive. That is the key here. You'll be working less, but you're going to be more productive. And that's what's going to change quite a bit from 2025. In 2024, there's a lot of still distractions. People are confused. They don't understand what they want to do, what they meant to do. And there's a lot of new technologies that's coming in that's going to help to everybody to actually do their work differently. Even if they don't change in career, not everybody is meant to change the career. But even if they don't change the career, they will change the way they're doing their job. And it's going to be much more easier because there's so much new technology that it's coming, that it's going to be wonderful. That's going to help everybody. The key is to work less and to be more productive. That is the plan, and that's going to start in 2025, end of 2025. As we enter in 2026, everybody can actually see there will be, it's like the anxiety right now, it's anxiety it's rising for everybody. But as we come into 2026, the anxiety is sort of diminishing, and everybody sort of knows that this is the change and that it's great. That's going to be great change. So this is all that we have for you. And please remember that every action, every intention of yours, it's shaping the shift and the change. So try to tune always to light. Make sure that your intention is always loving and helpful. You are the big key, big piece of puzzle in all this shift, in all the changes that are happening. So you creating it as well. So be careful of what you're creating and be open to learn, because the more you learn, the easier it gets. Be open to the change. And be in the present moment to understand what's really happening, because the confusion is going to be quite big in the next year. A lot of people are going to be so confused, and it's very important to stay connected and to stay grounded, to be able to understand what's happening and which way you need to go. We're sending you lots of love and light, and we're wishing you very blessed 2024. Bye-bye for now. Another important thing that's coming in 2024, or it's not so much in 2024, but there's a warning here that people need to prepare themselves. Because it's going to start happening in 2024, end of 2024, and it has to do with the transportation. The planes, the aeroplanes are going to be removed. You are urged to build more of these fast trines. A lot of people already started building them. In many countries, many places, they don't have them. So you are urged to pay more attention to this and to build more of these fast trines that you're already talking about, and that a lot of people are planning, and a lot of people already build it. We're going to need more and more of that, because the planes are going to be removed for some reason. The problem with all the aeroplanes and transportation with planes, it's already begin. You can see it. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of crashes. There's a lot happening. Also, the fuel, it's going to be quite expensive. It's going to be almost impossible for people to take a flight to fly. And you are very urged to, this is a time to actually look into transportation and replace those. You will have to replace the planes with the trines. there's gonna be need of more trines. Also, the transportation when it comes to your vehicles gonna change a lot. And humans are very, very late with this change. So again, it really depends how quick you're gonna act to this. Will you adopt to this electric vehicles sooner, or will you wait until the fuel is completely removed first and then be forced to adopt to electric vehicles? So this is something that government needs to look at it, because it's not going to be the way they're planning. They're a little bit late with it, and what universe has a plan is to remove the fuel vehicles completely, and humans gonna be forced into buying electric vehicles. And it's all because of the timing, because the timing, it was for this change much earlier. From 2020, 2000, universe had planned to actually bring this in. So 20 years we are really late. And now it's coming to that urgency where they're saying that you have to do something about it much quicker. You have to be prepared for this much quicker. And I'm also feeling that is the reason why universe allows the war to continue, because it's really pushing everybody to make this change and removing the fuel from humans to force them literally to adopt to electric vehicles. And these long trips that we normally take with plane, they're going to be removed as well. So it's very big urgency here to think, to prepare to replace those flights with building more these very fast trains. That's a very important message here. The shift is going to bring a big change in spirituality, the way humans see God, the way humans worship God. Let's say they're not going to worship Him anymore. Let's just put it this way. They will not worship God, they will love God. They will understand that they are here to bring joy, to bring light, not to suffer, not suffering. A lot of spiritual houses like churches will be closed. By the end of 2030, all of them will be closed. And it's going to start big time end of 2024. Some of them might close even earlier, very early into 2024. But end of 2024, it's going to be closing on a big scale. People will be connected to Jesus in more profound way that they never did before, in a way they never did before. They will have this full understanding of connection to God and to Jesus, and they will learn so much and involve so much in that sense. They will learn and involve so much that there's a lot of beliefs that they adopted or they've been carrying through all their life. It's just going to be dropped. They're just going to be dropped. There won't be anymore. Right now where humans are, they're questioning everything. They call it soul searching. There is no way you can search for the soul, because soul is right there inside of you. What you're really searching is for the truth. And a lot of people are confused. A lot of people trying this and trying that. And there's going to be point where it's going to take place, especially when all this darkness arise, when the dark soul arise, it's going to push everybody to truly connect. Everybody's going to have this amazing, wonderful connection to Jesus, going to have understanding and understand the truth. So right now, humans are just longing and waiting for Jesus to come to save them, but they're not doing anything really about it. They're not making any shift within themselves. And they're going to come to the point where they're going to understand, in order for Jesus to save them, they have to do the work themselves. They have to truly connect. And that is the truth. Jesus is here with us. He's just waiting for everybody to connect to him, truly to connect. And everybody will know exactly and find a way how to truly do that. So spirituality, in a way, it's going to change so much, where everybody will truly connect to God and to Jesus, and the angels going to be very present in every country, in every piece of earth. They're going to be very strongly present. They're going to be seen. That's what I'm getting here. They're going to be seen, and there's not going to be question anymore. Are they here to help or not? Everybody will know that. There's going to be this clear knowing. And that's going to expand and spread through all earth. And that's going to be the turning point for the shift. So 2024 is beginning of understanding what it doesn't serve us anymore. A lot of beliefs are dropped. Churches are closed. And it's going to bring quite a bit of destructions as well, because people are searching for help. Where do I go? Which way do I go? Who do I believe? Who do I trust? There's a lot of that's happening until majority of them find a way to really truly connect. And that's going to be the major thing that's happening in 2024. That it will be the major thing that's going to happen in 2024. Another thing that we would like to inform you is that with all these people, humans that took AI to a level of beyond their limits, will not succeed. Everybody that has ability, or that can afford to use AI and to create, or to think that they can create incredible with it, will not be succeed. The war or the army of robots will not be completed. That project will be stopped. The creation of human beings in a lab project will be stopped. So anybody that has ideas to take this AI to extreme, and to think that can change the humanity and that can change the humans and create a copy of them, will not succeed. It was never the plan. We allow you to use it as a guide to create one of two, but sooner it's going to start expanding, it's going to crash. So think twice where you're putting your money in. We're urging you to think twice how you're using the AI and what are you putting your money in, because a lot of projects will crash and a lot of money will be wasted and lost. The shift, it's not about becoming less human. The shift, it's about becoming more human. Please understand these words. It's not about becoming less human. It's about becoming more human and more human. And you will learn that there are some projects that you are not in charge. And they're just going to simply crash and fail.